Today on Public Eye News, Benton Harbor shootout and Minnesota sends out $1 million emergency on bird flu.
Later, Brendan Ford will have your weather, and I will have your sports update. Hi, I'm Caden Minus.
And I'm Susanna Gwynn, and this is Public Eye News. Starting off in Grand Rapids, on Friday, a jury said it reached decisions on several of the 10 charges, however remained deadlocked on others in the trial of the 4 men accused of conspiring to kidnap Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer. U.S. District Judge Robert Yonker has acknowledged the struggle on the 5th day of deliberations, as decisions to acquit or convict must be unanimous. There are 10 charges in the case involving kidnapping conspiracy, explosives, and firearms. Prosecutors said the 4 men involved, Brandon Caserta, Adam Fox, Barry Croft Jr., and Daniel Harris, were all anti-government extremists and angry over Governor Whitmer's COVID-19 restrictions. Defense lawyers argue that any scheme was in the creation of government agents who became immersed in the group and manipulated the 4 men. And a University of Wisconsin Stout professor has decided to delay sending out a survey to undergraduate students in the UW system, asking them about their thoughts on free speech after the interim chancellor resigned over the project. UW Stout philosophy professor Timothy Scheel told interim president Michael Fablo in an email this week that given the current circumstances, he must delay sending out the survey until the fall semester to allow extra time for the probable avalanche of questions associated with it. The GOP has been pressing campuses for several years to crack down on students and faculty whom they say disrupt and punish students who express conservative viewpoints. And in Middletown, Wisconsin, the missing surgeon found dead in northern Wisconsin over the weekend died from injuries she sustained when the embankment she was standing on collapsed beneath her. The body of Dr. Kelsey Musgrove was found on Sunday, partially buried in a clay bank on the riverbank at Potato River Falls in Iron County. Officials said it appears Musgrove ventured off the designated hiking path when the ground collapsed beneath her. She completed her surgical residency at West Virginia School of Medicine before starting her fellowship at UW Health last year. Musgrove's last contact was on March 25th, and her body was recovered on April 3rd.
And Michigan State Police are investigating a police-involved shooting in Benton Harbor. A post on social media says the 5th District Special Investigations Section is on scene. It happened Thursday night in the 700 block of Highland Avenue in the city of Benton Harbor. A release from the Benton Harbor Department of Public Safety says the officer-involved shooting happened at 11:18 p.m. on Thursday. And police crime scene tape is blocking off a large portion of the area on Highland Avenue. 2 officers were shot and the suspect Dustin Lavelle-Safel was killed. Director of Public Safety for Benton Harbor, Dan McGinnis, says officers attempted to make contact with Safel, who had multiple felony warrants. Body camera video shows the suspect get out of the vehicle with a gun and start shooting at officers. The officers returned fire, killing him. 1 officer was shot 2 times and another officer was shot 3 times. Both are expected to be okay. And $1 million in emergency funding has been rushed through the Minnesota legislators to support the fight against bird flu. Minnesota, the top turkey-producing state with nearly 700 farms, has seen 19 commercial farms and 2 backyard flocks infected with the virus. This totals to 1,017,568 birds. This has been the biggest outbreak since 2015, when producers had to kill 50 million birds to keep the virus from spreading. The CDC says bird flu poses little risk to the general public, and the birds are still safe to eat as long as they are cooked. And don't change that channel, because Brendan will have your weather, and we'll be back with more news.
We head to Idaho Falls, Idaho to meet up with Steven Settlemeyer and family, the creators of Divinia.
I had done a deal with someone that turned out to be a fraud.
Attorney General's like, this guy's taking the patent and raising money in your name. Turns out you raised a few $1 million. Whoa. And if he took that money and put it into the company, we could have been massive by now. But things work out for a reason.
Be sure to join us next time on Startup.
Tuesday night at 5:30 on WNMU-TV.
Hello and welcome back to Public Eye News. My name is Brendan Ford and I will be your weatherman for today. Spring started over 2 weeks ago, and if you take a look behind me, it looks like it's still winter here in beautiful Marquette. Looking all around the UP today, we see there is a lot of clouds, and over in Sault Ste. Marie, we see just a little bit of snow with the temperature of 35 degrees. In Manistee, cloudy and 31. Over in Escanaba, it is 32 degrees and cloudy. In Menominee, 36 degrees and cloudy. Iron Mountain, 31 degrees. Ironwood, 29 degrees. And in Houghton, 30 degrees, all them cloudy. And here in Marquette, it is 28 degrees and cloudy with a little bit of forecast. Let's go ahead and look into the current conditions. It's cloudy. As you've seen, there was just a tad bit of snow falling down, temperature of 28 degrees. Winds heading out of the north-northwest at 22 miles per hour, and a barometric pressure of 29.73 and rising. Looking into tonight, those snow showers will continue with a low of 29 degrees. Winds heading out of the northwest at 16 miles per hour. And tomorrow, we will be seeing more snow showers, this time with a high of 37 degrees and a low of 25 degrees. And we will have winds heading out of the north-northwest at 14 miles per hour. Let's go ahead and get into those future conditions. On Sunday, it will be a high of 46 degrees and a low of 36 degrees, and we will see that sun again, with it being mostly sunny. On Monday, it will get even hotter with a temperature of 48 degrees and a low of 35 degrees and mostly cloudy. And those conditions will continue on Tuesday with a high of 46 degrees and a low of 37. Let's go ahead and get back into the news with Susanna.
Now, thank you so much, Brendan. Transitioning from Michigan up into outer space. In a matter of hours, the first all-female private mission to the International Space Station is expected to launch from Kennedy Space Center. CBS's Danya Bacchus has more on this historic event.
It's a space mission that has never been done before. 4 private citizens blasting off to the International Space Station.
And this is a real turning point in human spaceflight.
SpaceX and Houston-based Axiom are launching Michael Lopez Alegria, Larry Connor, Etan Stibbe, and Mark Pathy on the first NASA-sanctioned fully commercial flight to the ISS. The mission is known as Axiom 1 or AX-1. Lopez Alegria, a former NASA astronaut who has flown to space 4 times, is the commander.
This really looks like a government NASA mission from the outside. And, you know, the difference is it's a private company and these are private customers.
The 4 crew members completed months of training. They'll be carrying equipment and supplies for 26 science and technology experiments to be conducted while aboard the ISS for 8 days.
They're trying to show that you can have a commercial flight to the station and it not be a joyride. It is serious research. They hope to get that done while they're up there.
CBS News space consultant Bill Harwood says training and research are what sets this mission apart from recent suborbital rides aboard Richard Branson's Virgin Galactic and Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin.
They're carrying space tourists, if you will, on up and down flights just out of the atmosphere and then back down again. This mission is going to orbit. That is a whole different level of complexity and cost.
This historic mission could lay the groundwork to make space accessible for all. Danya Bacchus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Shifting now from outer space down to the Korean peninsula. North Korea is bulldozing a South Korean hotel at a North Korean resort that was one of the last symbols of Korean engagement between the two countries. South Korea built dozens of facilities at North Korea's Diamond Mountain Resort to accommodate tourism between the rival countries in the 1990s. In 2019, North Korean leader Kim Jong-un called the South Korean facility shabby and ordered them to be demolished after Seoul's unwillingness to defy U.S.-led sanctions that kept tours from resuming in the country. Although the sanctions do not directly ban tourism, they do prohibit large cash transactions resulting from such business activities. Satellite images have revealed that the demolition of the hotel has already been underway for several weeks.
And a fire at a main power plant in Puerto Rico left over 1 million customers without electricity on Thursday. The blackout left a further 170,000 Puerto Ricans without water and forced authorities to close main roads and bog down traffic across the island. Long lines formed at gas stations as people bought fuel for their generators and others charged their cell phones at public businesses that still had electricity. Nearly 500,000 people out of the 1.5 million have had their electricity restored, and authorities cannot say exactly when power will be fully restored to the island.
And don't touch that dial. Right after the short commercial break, Caden will be back with your sports.
I travel around to so many places. The answer to climate change is communities everywhere creating more resilience in the natural world to rebalance the planet. That must be the key that can save us all.
Changing Planet premieres April 20th on PBS and the PBS app.
Welcome back to Public Eye News. Once again, I am Caden Minus, and getting into some sports. At the Masters, Tiger Woods is 4 shots behind the leader after round 1. Years ago, that would have been a disappointment to his fans. This year, it's almost a miracle. Woods is playing in his first official tournament since he nearly lost a leg in a car crash 14 months ago. Jim Axelrod is at Augusta National, where he followed Woods on his 1 under par opening round.
Now driving, Tiger Woods.
The roar was all anyone needed to know about Tiger Woods' return to the Masters. Just showing up would have been enough for golf fans.
Excited for Tiger.
He needs to cut to get on the proper level.
It's got to go in. It's made it. What a shot from Tiger.
But it wasn't going to be nearly enough for Tiger.
Do it? Yeah, he did.
First fist pump of the day from Tiger Woods.
It's absolutely amazing that he can even walk the golf course, much less be a competitor in this tournament.
Leaving his fans, who until recently hoped only that he'd regain his health, absolutely awestruck.
Tiger is the icing on the cake. He is one of my heroes, honestly, in the golf world. So when I heard that he was coming, it was just, for me, I would say one of the dreams come true.
The biggest test for Tiger now, recovering from Thursday's demanding walk around Augusta National and being ready for today.
Lots of treatments, lots of ice baths, and getting all the swelling out as best we possibly can, and then getting immobile and then warmed up. I'll take it from there. I know how to play. I just got to get out there where I can play.
Tiger Woods tees off at 1:41 this afternoon. He is tied for 10th, something that would have been inconceivable to report just a few short weeks ago. Jim Axelrod, CBS News, Augusta, Georgia.
And the NCAA Frozen Four semifinal took place in Boston last night, and it was full of surprises. Minnesota State faced Minnesota as the Mavericks took on the Gophers at TD Garden. The Gophers took an early 1-0 lead, but weren't able to hold that lead as Mankato put in shot after shot after shot to finish the game 5-1, sending the Twin Cities team home empty-handed. And the University of Michigan thought they would have a relatively easy game against the Denver Pioneers, but it wasn't to be, as Denver took the Ann Arbor School to overtime, where they slotted a goal to win 3-2 and cement their spot in the final. The final will be tomorrow at 8 p.m. And for baseball fans, MLB opening day took place yesterday with some dramatic games highlighting the afternoon. The Cubs took down the Brewers 5-4 and Kansas City beat Cleveland 3-1. The St. Louis Cardinals thrashed Pittsburgh 9-0, while Cincinnati took the 6-3 win over the Atlanta Braves. The Mets and Astros got wins against the Nationals and Angels respectively, and finally Arizona Diamondbacks beat the San Diego Padres 4-2. And Susanna actually has some news from Marquette.
Yes, I do. Thank you so much, Caden. The Crib, a local coffee shop in Marquette, is hosting artwork from NMU students enrolled in AD 417. Hannah Smith from Northwind reports that the theme of the artwork is escape or self-expression. The students were able to hang their artwork in any fashion that they saw fit. Professor Christine Lenzen says that allowing her students to practice putting their work on display is a valuable skill. The exhibition is free for all and can be viewed over a cup of coffee at the Crib.
Well, that sounds very interesting. Are you going to head down to the Crib and check out that artwork?
Oh, absolutely. I love art in all forms, and I can't wait to see what all the students have come up with in their class. Yeah.
And other things that are happening around here. Have you taken a trip down to Presque Isle to see the salamanders yet?
You know, I have not. That is definitely something that I want to get to this weekend. I've been studying lots, and I'm ready for a little bit of a break to go down to the island. What about you?
Oh yeah, I'm planning on going hopefully tonight. The cold weather might be putting them in hiding again, but who knows? Who knows what's happening? And then the Ordoc is also hosting the Culture of Cult art show tonight, featuring a lot of pop culture artwork from like sitcoms, video games. But that is all the time we have here at Public Eye News. On behalf of everyone here at the studio, my name is Caden Minus.
My name is Susanna Gwynn, and we thank you so much for watching, and we'll hope you'll tune in again on Monday.
Northern Michigan University Public Television, in studios located in Elizabeth and Edgar Hardin Hall.